And I am live. I am live. Well, happy Memorial Day to everyone. So glad to be back. I know it's a little bit late, but I'm back on with Mondays with Miko. So I'm going to be back on, okay? So I thank you guys. Hey, Reagan, girl, queen, we got to catch up. You have been on my mind and on my list. You just have no idea. So we definitely need to catch up, queen. But hey, look. It's a Memorial Day, and I know everybody's enjoying family. If you're watching this on repeat, I thank you so much for watching me on repeat. And actually, please share. You can just please share this show. I appreciate it. And as always, I just love engaging with you guys. So if you have if you have feedback, you always give me that, no problem. But if you have any topics, feel free to give me topics or special guests that you can recommend. I was fresh off a hairdo. Just got back from Charlotte, and my friend was like, "Why don't you just record it?" And I said, "You know what? I don't record it because I feel the vibe, right? When I have money with people and I'm cooking, I can feel a vibe. And you can't feel a vibe if you just record it, you know." Hey, Suzanne. Hey, honey. Man, Suzanne is on, and she ran for Senate in Florence in the Fort County area, and her whole campaign was on mental health and how appropriate is that a topic, you know, in one way or another, right? Mental health is definitely an issue. So then you're women before your time. What do we know? So let's go ahead and jump in. One of my first topics I wanted to talk about, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this topic, or if you guys have something to say. The topic is on gun control and what we have been experiencing as a nation. My goodness, it's only been about 2 weeks. In Buffalo, we saw that 10 people were killed, 10 African Americans were hunted and killed in Buffalo. And a friend of mine, um, she she lives in walking distance to the top grocery. And I called her. I didn't know she was that close to top. All I knew was that she lived in Buffalo. So I called her, my friend picked up, called her to see how she was doing. And she said, Miko, she said, it's a crazy place out here. She said that the people, wow, she said, that, I didn't know that. I'm looking at the she got to sleep for a time. She said, but what she said is that in Buffalo, she said it's crazy because that was the only like local grocery store. And if you live in Marion County, you can kind of appreciate that, right? We've got, especially if you live in Britain's Neck, or if you live in the Fork, or if you live down in Zion. There's not a lot of grocery stores. I live in Mellon, and we have a grocery store nearby. You know, um, you got the there and you got up there. But still, imagine if you live down in Grisham or Bryan, and there's no nearby grocery stores at all. So she said that you could pretty much go to any corner and get food. So the the university is responding and they're sending food to Buffalo. But what she said, Miko, what's missing is the toiletry items and the cleaning supplies and those things because she said those other things that you get from the grocery store. And she said that people are afraid. And now there's something that I talked to her maybe about 3 days after the incident. And she said people are afraid to come out of their house. The community is targeted and they're really terrified. And she told me, hey, look, she has her faith. She has a very strong faith that she's not afraid to die. And I understand that. And you talk to because you get the young people that have children, and they're afraid. They're afraid for their children. And this is not a good way for us to live. And then flip side, I went to the Women in Philanthropy event, coming back from that, and 19 children and two children in Texas. And well, okay. So there's good officers and bad officers. That whole police department down there, I can't believe the police officers that they put in. So we could talk about that another day. I don't know if you all agree with me, but I think that is atrocious what they're trying to cover up something. And to me, it was clear from the first press conference when they started to talk that they're trying to cover up something. That's terrible. And it happens all over, by the way. So here's my 2 cents on the assault weapons. These weapons that are used to kill so many people so rapidly. I think there's no need for them. I'm not saying, and keep in mind, my friends who live in Jersey, in Pennsylvania, New York, and other places, my view has changed on guns since I moved to South Carolina. I understand it better now. I understand hunting. I understand, protection and property, and I get it. I think that, there should be people who know how to use guns, there's a place for folks who want to even collect them. But there's no place for assault weapons. There's no place in the United States of America for a gun that was meant for war. And even, you look at what's going on in Ukraine and that breaks my heart. But there's no place for it. And so when you think about the how we get into this situation as Americans, and you watch the news and say, why only America? When they had the mass shooting in New Zealand, they fixed it. But in America, we have a mass shooting, and our politicians, like the governor and the senator, the U.S. senator in Texas, they come out and defend it. As a matter of fact, they went to the friggin' gun NRA convention in the same state that this atrocity happened. And Abbott and Cruz had the nerve to be speakers. The nerve. So this is one of those topics that really doesn't there's a bunch of topics I really don't know how this is truly coming to. And so you can remember, why are these elected officials so gung ho and intended for keeping assault weapons? Or really, I don't even know if it's assault weapon, I think it's just excusing this major NRA lobby. We have to take the massive amount of what's the word? The massive amount of um corruption out of politics. And it's there at all levels. And and like I said, my gloves are off. I'm trying to choose now. I'm sick and tired of it. And um matter of fact, I was at somewhere listening to something. My schedule's been so crazy as of late. And somebody mentioned Rosa Parks. And what they mentioned about Rosa Parks was that she was not um she was not tired and that it was a planned event when she sat down on the bed. Now I'm not sure about it being a planned event. But what I am sure about, in her own words, in Rosa Parks' own words, she said that when she sat down on that bus and refused to get up, she said that she did not sit down because she was tired. She said she was not tired and she was not old. And she said she was 23 at the time. She said what she was is sick and tired. And that's really what it's going to take, so. And shooting, gunning down older people in grocery stores, and babies in classrooms, if that's not enough to get you sick and tired in this United States of America, then I really don't know what is. But what I do know, and this is what I'm banking on, is that, um, let yeah, yeah, I got me, let me let you guys read about this. Is that, but what I do know is that in the United States of America, there's so many of us that are sitting on the sidelines. So we're not getting involved. And what I mean by getting involved, y'all, is vote. Use your views. Be visible in your community. I'm not even begging you to do that. Use your voice. It'd be great if you do that. But lastly, vote. If we vote, we can change this assault weapons gun law. We can ban those things where you got people, deranged or not, mentally or not, and they're using them to kill a whole bunch of other people. It happens in America. But it doesn't happen at the places. It doesn't need to do this. It's your vote. So when you got an election that's coming up in June 14th, that's 15 days, you got to do it. You would not believe how many people don't show up to vote. And guess what? Those that mean us harm, those politicians that those politicians that are in it for the wrong reasons, they bank on you. Let me get into some more specifics on that in a second. Yes, user these, definitely. Thank you so much for that user these. It's important. And I'm gonna give you some direct numbers. And so you hear the opposing side of the Constitution. I hate to say the opposing side because either it's right or it's wrong. Either you're on the side of right or you're on the side of wrong. Killing old people, African Americans, Asian people, and babies, people in the malls, in grocery stores, in schools. You can't just talk about army teachers. These things are happening in grocery stores, in malls, everywhere. It's time to change. And to say that our Constitution guarantees us this right to bear arms, well, I don't think assault weapons were there. And our, if you want to call them forefathers, said that we're not, and our laws are made to develop and change as we change. It's like the harm that they're doing to our planet. We got to grow. So I'm asking you all to please vote. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Matter of fact, let me see if I have it up here from last week. We gotta stop the cheaters, y'all. If you live in Marion County, if you live in Marion County, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because guess what? When we don't, then now we got this statewide election, right? So we've got some nefarious people who are running for office that know that they can buy the vote in Marion County. Oh, I gotta be something like that. I remember to do that. If you're listening and you called me about your absentee ballot, I promise you, I'm gonna make a note and I'll call you back on Tuesday. But still, guys, you have to we have to protect our vote. We gotta go vote. We gotta tell two, three, four, five people. We got to spread the word. The way we beat the cheaters is by having more people go out and physically vote. Because the cheaters are good at it. Those in our county that are dealing with these absentee ballots and are harvesting the vote, they've been doing it for a long time. They've been getting paid to do this for a long time, and they got it all figured out. And we all know who their names are. And so does SLID. The SLID, for some reason, refuses to finalize any kind of investigation. So, yeah, SLID, calling you out too. So what I'm saying is, we know who they are. And yes, they can beat us after we vote. They can't beat us if we go and vote physically. And we tell everybody, let's show them. Can there be one election in Marion County that's not decided by absentee ballot? Can there be one election where the people actually make the decision? So, and no more desperate more than one person has told me, I'm so passionate about this position. Not everybody feels the way you feel. And you gotta bend. You know what, y'all? With all due respect, I just can't. I just can't. Because somebody has to be out there saying what I deem to be the truth. Grandma told me never grow up. And I haven't been able to do it. Let me just tell you. I haven't been able to do it. And it hurt me when people don't understand kind of why it's so important. Yeah, you know, is there a better way of telling my story? Probably. I'm not passionate with you anyway. I apologize for that. Let me go ahead and talk about the June. A couple races right now in the June 14th coming. So we have to vote. Everybody in this state, everybody in this state has to vote on June 14th. It's the Democratic primary and a Republican primary, right? And so when you go to vote, you have to choose. Am I a Democrat and I'm a Republican? If you say you're a Democrat, you're talk to you about the Democratic primary. Okay? So in the Democratic primary, there's a whole bunch more positions to seats that are up and not so many. But for the purpose of today's call, we're going to just talk about two positions right now. We'll talk about the governor's position, and we'll talk about the U.S. Senate. Okay? So for governor, there is a man running. His name is Joe Cunningham. Well, let me go back. This is the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, there's a whole bunch of numbers about the racial makeup of the Democratic Party. And so the Democratic Party, the low number, this is the low number, is 70% African American. All right, so 70% African American. So really, this at 70%, that's a super majority. So these folks that are running on the Democratic ticket, basically, they're running to win the black vote. So, and then, but I'm saying that we are not a monolith. African Americans are not a monolith. But the reality is that when it comes to in the Democratic Party, we make up the Democratic Party. So we need to know who's running and what their issues are, right? Where they stand on certain things, right? And you know what? It does make sense when you think about our culture because you have Bill Cunningham, who is again, I'm always accused of racism, and but it's not about racism. But I have to tell you, Bill Cunningham is a white male, and me in the South is an African American female. And so what I'm saying is about experiences. cultural learned experiences in terms of understanding who we're voting for. Now, does that mean that I have voted many times for people who don't look like me because they're the better candidate? But in this case, I need for after 70% African Americans that make up the Democratic Party to know two things. One, that there is a woman who is running for governor who is also African American, like the 70% of us who are in the party. She is from Bennettsville, so she understands rural America. She's been a senator. She's been in the state house for 12 years. So she has won every election that she ran. And I may have that one about 12 years, or maybe 12 years of Senate that year. Okay, but you need to know Mia McLeod. You need to know who she is. She does not have the money of Bill Cunningham. Bill Cunningham was a former congressman. And when he was in Congress, he was all really excited that he was able to flip a seat that was Republican, which was a Democrat. Then he went to D.C. and voted with the Republicans. So you all know what's going on. If anybody asks you about me, it's going to be a couple things. It's going to be minimum wage, okay? The Postal Carrier ran a report. And this is back in, I guess it was everything, 2020, maybe 2022. In 2020, and I'm going to just read to you certain pieces of what he said about the vote. So it was the Raise the Wage Act. So in some of these lives, it talks about how the House passed the minimum wage to $15 an hour, which is what is to me is so important to the platform, right? And so when you look at, let me just read to you what Joe Cunningham understood that the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. And so for my friends that are not from South Carolina, yes, $7.25 an hour. That is exactly what the minimum wage is in South Carolina. So this bill comes up for vote. He's the congressman. And the bill was the Raise the Wage Act, right? And this is what the man who's currently running for governor said, and I quote, $15 may sound good in places like San Fran, but not back home, Cunningham said. That's the problem with the federal government country. We try to find a one-size-fits-all for the entire country, but we're different in the low country. Despite Cunningham's opposition, the bill passed along mostly party lines on a 231 to 199 vote. There are 231 congressmen and women that voted to increase the minimum wage. Only 5 Democrats, with 6 voted. 6 including Bill Cunningham, voted against raising minimum wage. So now he's running for governor in a state. Hello, Cynthia. He's running for governor in a state that doesn't even have a minimum wage. And guess what? I saw Bill Cunningham last year. I went to he was at a he was in Florence at a real brewery. And I went up to him, oh Rob, good to see you too. I went up to him after, he was taking questions, and there was a picture. I went up in the line to take pictures with him. And I looked him in the eye and I said, where do you stand on minimum wage? And he would not answer me. And I said, okay, I'm not this person. Look at a bunch of people here. I'm not letting go. I said, I need you to come to Marion. I need you to look at Marion County in the face. I need you to see what happens here. I need you to see the impact of a $7.25 an hour minimum wage. He told me I'm making my way to Alderton. You see, Bill Cunningham do not focus on. I'm gonna go ahead and post this so you can read it yourself. Read it. Read it. Democrats. Democrats sent this man to D.C. He goes to D.C. and votes with the Republicans. Now he wants to be governor. Also, go to me and Michelle's site. You will see something completely different. She is definitely for increasing the minimum wage. And the thing is we know in South Carolina, a lot of times our hands are tied. Our state has to be backed up. We're going to need to change that too. But right now, it's not voting for government. And the thing is she does not have the money to advertise and to do the things that he can do. But guess what? We have our circles, and we know a lot of rich people that have the same issues as us. And it's not about being white, it's not about being black, it's about just what is fair, it's about the working class, it's about standing up for working people, no matter where you live, no matter who you love, no matter where you shop, it has to be fair. Right. What else I got? So read that article, y'all. Read it. For real. This dude is against minimum wage. Because it may work like that in other parts of the country, but not in the low country. What's wrong with in the low country? Now we can pay our bills? Yeah. I like this. So I'm going to end on talk about gun control. It's important to know who you're voting for and where they're doing anything. That's why things are messed up for real when you think about it. And I'm reading the Trevor Noah book, and I'm actually in the book club, and one of the books was Born at Time. This story was incredible. Actually, I'm listening to Audible too. Audible. You can't even speak to Audible because it's in his voice. But Trevor Noah, a lot of us know Trevor Noah. He's a comedian, he's hilarious, he's sexy. And the name of his book is Born at Time because he's South African and it's illegal. It was illegal for his parents to have a child. Well, he was doing a time and he told the full story. You know, normally in like chapter 5, but it's pretty awesome. But one of the things that he says in the book, and I'm not going to quote it right, but he says the possibilities that we have are far beyond what we can see. So that means that we just need to start with our vote. Because we look at things and say, I'm not going to change it. I know it's taking my time. We go, why am I wasting my time? American takes you 5 minutes to vote. 5 minutes. If you're in Charlotte, go early vote. Matter of fact, you can start early voting tomorrow. No excuses. You don't need to say nothing. You want an early vote? You can go down and you can vote tomorrow. It's the Marion County Admin Building, which is Ryan Bojangles, okay? So vote, early voting starts tomorrow. Remember, you're in the South, it's Matthew. Um, but if you think about what Trevor's saying, is that change takes time. And sometimes we may not be able to vision it. We can't see it. The possibilities are far behind what we can currently see. And I'm asking you guys to imagine a brighter future for yourself and your children, specifically, especially in Arizona. Do it, but we need to do it together. So, last is routine. We got the Dom Diggity Planning Team. There's so much that's going on with this planning team. I don't even have enough time to tell you all what's going to happen in 2022 in just 19 days. But I will tell you more next week. Maybe I'll got something. But just think about why we celebrate, right? So Juneteenth is really a celebration of a major um, miscommunication, right? Um, Slavery had ended, and the folks in Texas didn't know. So when they found out that slavery had they continued to be slaves, and you know what? It actually continued after that with sharecropping and everything else. But let's just talk about 1862. Slavery was supposed to have ended. We didn't find out because we were not communicating with each other as a people. Some folks didn't know, and they continued to be slaves for years. And finally the message got to the folks in Texas. Juneteenth was created and we celebrate. So now Juneteenth is a federal holiday. People have fun. So what we're doing in Mullen is Juneteenth Mullen. We want everybody to come. Come from New Jersey, come from Pennsylvania, come from everywhere. We've got singers, performers. We just put the woman, her name is Rose Marie, and she is going to do a tribute to Gladys Knight. Her voice is just amazing. We've got the band Genesis, we've got speakers, we've got African dance, we've got vendors, we've got food, we've got nonprofits. It's just going to be a great time, right? So I'm talking about drinking time. So while we celebrate, and we want others to celebrate, we're celebrating African American culture, not as a gimmick, but as African American culture. So when our ancestors came here, and I've been on the hunt to find my ancestors, it's not easy because what slavery has done to disconnect me from my history. When our ancestors came here, we were African. And so our colors, some of our music, the way we worship, it's our food, it's part of who we are. It's part of that culture. And so folks that may come from other lands, may come from Switzerland, may come from England or other parts of Europe, this is your opportunity to really understand our culture. And it's not a gimmick. It's fun. And we want you to participate, right? We want you to participate. But standing up first is the culture of African American. And the STEM committee that we put together, we're working really hard to make sure that Juneteenth knowledge is about the culture. For everybody to come out and participate. And what you're going to see is African American culture. No matter where you go, left, right, up, and down. You're going to hear it, you're going to smell it, you're going to taste it, you're going to enjoy it. We want everybody to be part of it. It's a lot of fun. And so the parents teams out there, and our event is free. Some of the Juneteenth that are around, they're not free. So we need nonprofits to come on, we need help. The cleaning team is on raffle tickets for $2 and top prize $200, right? So but there's gonna be more to come and do things. We have a whole lot on. So I just wanted to point out that, it's an important part of our culture. We want everybody to participate in it. And I do believe if you come to Juneteenth, you're gonna learn something, no matter what your background is. The same way, I enjoy when we go to German class, when we go to beer class, when we go to the Caribbean event. This is a celebration of African American culture. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the 15th, and I will be back online next Monday. Until then, enjoy your holiday. Bye.